Obviously, a lot of people here that wear Fever stuff or wear, Caitlin Clark shirt, whatever, but at the same time, they understand really good basketball and they can appreciate what the Lynx did and who the Lynx are. It was a great game. Like, the offense was great. It was up and down. Both teams were tired. So I think it was just a great display of women's basketball, honestly.
Caitlin Clark just called out her own team's performance. She praised her opponents, and she did it all while breaking records. What's going on with the Fever's rookie sensation? Let's get into it. This is where things take an unexpected turn. Even though you might assume Clark would be ecstatic about hitting a league record, Clark is a huge believer in walking the walk as well as talking the talk. The worst part is that her historic accomplishments are taking place in an environment that is anything from ideal. What is the true cause of the Indiana Fever? Let's dissect it. In just one season, Caitlin Clark made WNBA history by being the first rookie to record 500 points and 200 assists. That is not only excellent, it is legendary. Before the ink on her contract has even dried, this rookie is rewriting the record book. Hold on though, Clark's individual numbers are insane, but the Indiana Fever just lost to the Minnesota Lynx. What a mixed bag that is. With an astounding 23 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds, Clark had a great game. That's a great performance on paper. Why then did it not result in victory? This is when the exciting part starts. Whatever the skill level of a single player, the Fever's problems extend beyond her. Christy Sides, the coach, has come under fire for making some dubious roster choices. It's comparable like driving a Ferrari but neglecting to fill up the tank with gas. Although the club has skill, they aren't making the most of it. The team got a little stagnant during the game. As Clark herself noted, that's leadership, not simply honesty. While most inexperienced people would be happy to wallow in their own success, Clark is focused on the greater picture. She doesn't hesitate to speak her mind, even if it means criticizing her own squad for shortcomings.
2 points. Mitchell has the answer. 8 for 8. Clark weaving way through. For the Fever in this quarter. And now with 22 seconds to go, here's Clark off the screen. The three-pointer is good.
But forget for a moment that Clark is allowing this tragedy to take away from her brilliance. She is managing team objectives and personal accomplishments like a seasoned pro. Clark acknowledged her record-breaking season when questioned about it, but she soon turned the conversation to the team's progress. It's uncommon to witness such maturity in a novice. It's not just Clark's numbers that are making waves in the WNBA, it's her attitude. She is demonstrating that her mental toughness matches her physical prowess. Clark's capacity to acknowledge and appreciate personal accomplishments while being skeptical of teamwork. Future league leaders are created of stuff like that. Consider it. How many rookies can turn around a failing squad, record career high performance, and remain committed to the group's betterment? In addition to competing, Clark is altering our perception of the importance of rookies in the WNBA.
Like, she does so much for their team. There was a few times she made a few shots and I caught myself like, dang, like, can't guard that. And I don't really do that often. And AB played really good defense. There's nothing you can do but take the ball out and go down the other way and tell her good job. There's moments like that in the game, and I thought, she had quite a few of those tonight, but she's been playing really well.
Even though Clark has exceptional talent on his own, a superstar's ability to deal with meeting their heroes is what really counts. What occurs when a young sensation challenges the player who gave them the idea to shoot hoops? What it means to compete at the greatest level may have been redefined by Clark's recent matchup with the Minnesota Lynx. Imagine this: 2 teams prepared to compete on the court, an electrifying atmosphere, and a filled venue. However, Caitlin Clark saw this as more than just a game. It was an opportunity to compete against Maya Moore, her childhood hero. I mean, pressure, huh? But this is where Clark really shows her true colors. Rather than feeling scared, she took it all in. "You act like that's your childhood hero," praised Clark in a tone that was full of admiration. You don't get to play against the person who first encouraged you to take up a basketball every day. You may now assume that Clark would become distracted and starry-eyed, but you'd be mistaken there. She observed every move the Lynx made, keeping her eyes wide open and her game face on. Clark's analysis of the match, it resembles receiving a masterclass in strategic basketball. Now let's discuss defense. Clark was not afraid to compliment the strong wall of the Lynx. She saw how difficult it was for her squad to score, particularly in the paint. However, Clark focused on individual players as much as the team. Recall the shot of Maya Moore we mentioned? Clark was in no doubt impressed. There was a few times where she made a tough runner, and I caught myself like, dang, can't guard that, Clark said. You can now refer to that as a game-recognizing game. The shocking thing is that Clark wasn't just an admirer from a distance. She spent the entire time mentally noting everything.
We have to find a way to get her some easy looks. Like we didn't go to her enough, honestly. And I thought even in the fourth quarter we turned away from her. That's who we need to go to. But she was really good when she's, having to exert herself so much on somebody that's, one of the best players in our league. We have to find a way to get her a few more easy looks. I think at halftime we had 26 paint points. I don't know what we finished with, but I thought we could have got it in there a little more specifically to AB.
There's moments like that in the game, and I thought she had quite a few of those tonight. Clark stated she was gaining real-time knowledge from the top basketball players, as if she were creating her own customized playbook. Let's be honest now, for anyone, losing is not enjoyable, but for a competitive player like Clark, it is more so. But how did she respond to the loss? It's the reason why everyone is discussing. Rather than pouting or offering justifications, Clark considered the wider perspective. She made the point that regardless of which team was making the plays, the audience's responses demonstrated that they understood and valued excellent basketball. That's not just excellent sportsmanship. For a rookie, that represents next level maturity. Consider it. After a loss, how many players can still be amazed by the game they just played when they leave the court? It takes a rare kind of talent for Clark to keep her passion and respect for the sport, apart from her competitive drive. There was more to this contest than just two teams competing. With Clark at its center, it was a celebration of women's basketball. She created a moment that unites players from all generations by sharing the court with her idol rather than merely competing against her. Do you think Clark is only about spectacular plays and outrageous statistics? Rethink your thoughts. Her post-match analysis demonstrates a far more advanced basketball intellect than her years. What did she see that might hold the key to revealing the full potential of the Fever? Now let's discuss strategy. Not only is Clark producing highlight reels, but she's also planning 3 moves ahead. WNBA insiders are taking note of some serious information she revealed after the game. Clark focused on the Fever's inside-out strategy first. One of our keys was to play inside out, she stated. Surely you're wondering, isn't that basketball 101 at this point? But this is where Clark's brilliance really shows. She doesn't merely reiterate coach jargon. Instead, she explains how and why it matters. Clark noted that the Fever had scored 26 points in the paint by halftime. That is a success plan, not just a statistic. She understood that they weren't making the most of the low post potential for dominance. There's more to Clark's strategy though. She's not only considering how to score, she's also considering how to help her teammates. Clark made it clear that her teammate AB needed to be included more in the offensive. We have to find a way to get her some easy looks. We could have done a little bit better job there, Clark said, and this is advanced strategic thinking, not merely collaboration. Already, Clark is learning how to best utilize the individual talents of each player to produce a more exciting attack. That's the kind of knowledge one would anticipate from an experienced professional, not a recent college graduate. Let's now address the unspoken yet important topic of rebounding. By out-rebounding their opponents by 13, the Fever emerged victorious in the battle on the boards. That is very significant. Clark, though, isn't happy to win the game in a single area. She is trying to figure out how to transform those rebounds into points and how to win with those extra possessions. Can one player's insights really make that much difference? Is probably what's on your mind. In Clark's case, the answer is unquestionably yes. It's uncommon for any athlete, much less a rookie, to have her capacity to assess the game, identify areas that need work, and put out a clear plan of attack. Consider it. After a hard loss, how many rookies can analyze their team's performance with the clarity of an experienced coach right off the court? Clark is seeing the game via a completely different lens than just playing it. What makes Clark unique is her blend of off-court analysis and on-court ability. She is more than just a wizard of assists and a scorer. She is an expert basketball player who is always searching for methods to get better as a player and as a team. Not only did Clark have a record-breaking rookie season, but her potential to be a game-changing force in the WNBA is really what has everyone talking. She is demonstrating how rookie effect extends far beyond statistics. It all comes down to strategy, leadership, and the capacity to uplift a group of people. What happens next for the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark? If Clark's post-game observations are any guide, a basketball revolution may be about to begin. She's not only getting used to the professional game, she's already considering how to improve it.